been sitting here thinking about the vinyl liner pool industry and where we play a part in that. Because of our exposure, because of our website, we get a lot of inquiries both from pool companies and from people all over the country looking for what we do. And what we do is it's sort of synergistic. It's pieces of different types of production, different types of pools pulled together to create the optimal for a homeowner. So it's that trend of people wanting something different, something specific to their lifestyle that I think is becoming very apparent to me. It's not necessarily rediscovering a brand new product to use or discovering something that didn't exist and creating it, but rather reappropriating what's currently available in a new way. So just because it's been done this way, which is what we hear most pool builders say is, well, we've always done it this way. Instead, it's what if we use the same product, but we use some of this over here as well, and we blended them together. And that's what a hybrid pool is. It's taking all of the benefit of vinyl. And a vinyl liner and the comfort and the ease of use and the water chemistry and all of that, and its construction and how it goes together and its ability to sustain forces underground, all of that. And then we add to that the Gunite portion, which gives it the durability for use. So sun shelves that you can put lawn chairs on, being able to build out custom grottos and things that can be filled with water. Things that would be very difficult to put a liner in, we can still add to the pool. Spillover spas are much easier than putting in, and also finish much nicer than just putting a drop-in spa. We've arrived at that because we kept trying different ways, and we realized that when we used everything that was available in a new way, magic happened. And I think that's where I think for the most part, I still consider myself a vinyl builder because I'm building a vinyl liner pool. We certainly would not describe this as a Gunite pool. It might have Gunite steps in a spa, it might have a sun shelf or a waterfall or a grotto or something, but in no way, shape, or form would we consider that a Gunite pool. However, we could look at the main body of water and go, this is a vinyl liner pool that just happens to have concrete pieces. And I think our industry is changing and needs to change. Design has always been driven from the Gunite end, from the concrete end, because it was fabricated on site. Vinyl liner pools, and even we'll throw fiberglass in there as well, have been very much product driven. Here's a brochure, pick a shape, we'll build that, that's what you get. So there wasn't design so much as plop it in the yard and then maybe do some design elements around it. I would like to see, and I hope to see, and based on what I'm hearing from people, and where potential customers call us from around the country and say they're trying to interview companies in their area that would be able to pull this off. We get those requests all the time. Would we build there? Would we design for them? And then help them select someone to build it. So I think there's this trend. I can't help but recognize this trend happening. What I would like to see is designers in the vinyl liner industry come to the forefront. Not just the big guys that have been in Gunite that have the real world acclaim and the name associated with them and their pool building, but the guys that have some really innovative and fun and creative and very different approaches, which is where we've gone down. That's the road that we've taken, is the road not traveled at all. Not reinventing, but repurposing and reusing. And doing it in such a way that the homeowners, the comments we get from homeowners that I can't believe that this was possible, that I didn't know that you would be able to do this, but they're seeing it. And then the fruit of our labor is then this product that blows them away because everything's where it's supposed to be. We did an interview with a customer a number of years ago, and he said, you know, the vinyl is exactly where it's supposed to be. Now the kids can play all day long and not hurt their toes, and it's smooth and comfortable, and yet the Gunite's where it's supposed to be, where my wife could sit her chair on the sun shelf and sit there and not have to worry about cutting the liner or causing any damage to the pool. And that particular pool had a swim-up bar too, so he made comment that and he could be in the bar, which is right at the water, and he's right at water level. It's still a vinyl liner pool, but it was using all of these elements in a different way that could provide and answer all of those, and it answered and created solutions for everything they did. So I think that from my perspective, again, this trend is happening. The industry is not necessarily addressing it yet. They will, because Where people go, money goes. And if the customer is going that way, you've got to follow the flow of money. And unfortunately, I think, and maybe it's not, but unfortunate for a lot of guys and gals in the industry is don't wait till the money's gone before you go there. But I think most will. Most won't take that step across to what more could we do, what different could we do, how could we do things in a different way. But if those that are brave enough to do it, that can stay on the front end of a bell curve, if you look at the early adapters and the long tail of the late bloomers, that front edge is where all the innovation happens. That's the place to be, because that's where it's exciting. Yeah, you're taking risks, but you're taking risks by standing back and doing nothing too. But the industry is pushing that way, and not the industry, the consumer is pushing that way. And as the consumer goes that way, pool companies have to go that way as well. And where I see this trend is that there's a group of people that want to help influence where it goes. Now, we can just let consumers push us and say, can you do this, can you do this, can you do this? And eventually we say yes and we figure it out. Or we can innovate and then bring it to a customer and say, how about this, how about this, how about this? And that's where vinyl becomes a vital piece of this. And the vinyl guys, the vinyl designers, is how can we be on that forefront and start bringing all of the solution to the customer. So that's just my philosophy in terms of what I'm saying about where the industry is going, and we know the consumer is going that way. I don't think anyone would doubt that the consumer is more sophisticated than ever, wanting something more custom than ever, wanting something more unique than ever. For many, many years, it was, I want a pool because my neighbor has one, and it was that keep up with the Joneses and make mine a little nicer. We don't hear that very much anymore. Instead, we hear, here's what I want, and here's how I want it to make me feel, here's what I want it to do. Not, oh, I want it like his, but better. That used to be a comment I got for many, many years, is I want one like that guy's, but better. And so all we were doing is making them like that and better. Instead, the consumer is going toward how can it work into my life, not how do I work into the pool's life, but how will the pool work into my life, which requires the design end. Spend more time, figure it out, product ends up 100 times better, and it's better relationships because then the customer is happy as well.